All right, game just underway here at Eastview. The JV Jaguars up against Eastview. Jaguars controlling the play in the offensive zone here. Got Johnny Rash with me on color tonight. Jaguars with a couple of shots, trying to chip over the goalie. Goalie's down, banging at it in the crease. We get a whistle.
Kurt, you and I were talking last game about a continuation of last season with Elise Tyus in the middle, and sure enough, right in front of the goalie, number 31 for Eastview. She's there trying to put the puck in. A couple sharp shots, unsuccessful, but she's going to take the draw to the right of the Eastview goalie here and wins the draw, gets the puck right back to her, and Jaguars already putting on a little bit of pressure, but the puck kicks out to Eastview.
Perry and first on the wings for the Jaguars, Lindman and Feldman on defense. In goal, believe that might be
Annika Bjorklund.
Annika Bjorklund, okay. Held in by Eastview at the line. Eastview Lightning, they'll go back to the puck. We're scoreless here, first period.
And what they've done, Kurt, is in general about as close as you can possibly get to the midpoint of the second period. Switch goalies in the two previous JV games, and in the two previous ones, Megan Dewarwell started, and then Annika Bjorklund spelled her, and they're just inverting a little bit here, but my guess is we'll see Megan halfway through the second.
Taylor Keith wins that draw for the Jaguars. Here's DeVos almost on a break. Allie Moore looking for that pass. Eastview intercepts. He'll send it back. Back on it now. Eleni Schramm. She'll pivot and turn up for Moore, but just out of her reach. Held in by the Lightning player. Chipped out to neutral there by Kylie Mendel, the other defenseman on now with Schramm. Schramm will go up the left side this time, but pass a little out of reach, intercepted there briefly by the Jaguars. Eastview getting their first time in the zone just as the Jaguars able to exit. Now, here comes Megan DeVos. She's alone. In on goal, on her forehand shot. Oh, calm glove there by the Eastview goalie. Keeps us scoreless, Johnny.
Really well played by the Eastview goalie, and that was a clean breakaway. Nice shot by Megan DeVos, but he flashed the leather, grabbed the puck, and what we do have an advantage in shots for the Jaguars, 4-0, and something that may not be as noticeable for those watching at home, but clearly is in the rink, is the Jaguars have a size advantage. We'll have to see how that plays out as the game goes on. It appears that Eastview perhaps has some younger players who they have called up to their JV squad, just by the looks of it, and so. But they're playing scrappy and playing well and kept the Jaguars off the board. It's a 0-0 game, 13-10 remaining in the first.
Ashley Towie on this face-off at center for the Jaguars. She's got first on her right side, Perry on her left side. That'll be thrown in by Mendel. Back on it is the Eastview defenseman. 13 minutes to go here, scoreless first period. Jaguars 1-0-1 on this early season. Now centering pass out into the crease. That'll go out to Mendel at the point. She'll attack down the right side. Shot coming in. Blocker save to the corner. Schramm there to pick up. Schramm will loop. Take it all the way in. Schramm fans on the shot. Still has it though behind the net. Out in front. Chip for first coming in. A shot and a goal. Ella first from Lainey Schramm. Jaguars on the board first, John.
Really nice combination there. Lainey Schramm, of course, playing defense, Kurt. But boy, she looked like a forward the way she skated around that net there and fed Ella first quite well for the first goal of the game. 1-0 Jaguars.
Yeah, shot 6-0 here. Jaguars looking to be the quicker skating team, at least early on. We'll see if that continues. Picked up now by Towie. She'll come in down that right wing side. Behind the net, Towie. Tipped out in front. Perry picking up a secondary assist on that goal, so it's first from Schramm and Perry. Now, Jaguars in the offensive zone will chip it below the goal line, picked up by Eastview. Forechecking there is Perry. She steals it, picks the pocket first again. Just off the glove. Another glorious scoring chance there for first, John.
Boy, it sure was. And all the action so far, Kurt, has been in Eastview's end. They're really on their heels here. And we have Elise Tyus on the front of her skates here trying to feed her teammates. But we get an interception there, a potential breakaway, but picked up by the Jaguars defense as they try to get back on offense here. which Tyus indeed does.
Tyus picks it up. She's got DeVos going to the net. Shot there from Moore. Sticked aside by the goaltender. Picked up there on the far side by DeVos, but has her pocket pick. Now Eastview really just trying to get out of the zone. They were able to set up once in the Jaguars' defensive end, but only once. Now Jaguars again. DeVos with the steal. She'll go to the middle. Backhanded pass for Moore on her backhand. Kind of flubs the shot there, but picks up back to DeVos. Can't find the puck in her skates. Picked up by Eastview. Going to try to rim it around the high glass. Gets by Marshall there, and back on it now is Janzig De La Luz. She'll send it rink wide for DeVos. Intercepted by Eastview, trying to beat Marshall to the puck. Tips it into the zone, but there's a back-checking Moore to save the day for the Jaguars. Held in briefly at the line, but chipped out now. Moore down the right side. Good speed, but 1-on-2. Loses the puck as she enters the zone. Eastville will exit here. 10.5 to go, John. Jaguars strong start. They're out to the 1-0 lead.
Indeed, and you mentioned, how Marshall came back and Moore covered for her. Then Marshall had a nice poke check, pass it back to Moore. Some really good teamwork on that exchange as the Jags try to get back into the offensive zone.
Here comes Perry now. Pass. Oh, first almost picked that up. The Eastview defender didn't quite know where the puck was. But by the time first got it, now here she is in the slot again with a chance. Hit traffic in front. Eastfield will be able to skate this out. So we get to the 10-minute remaining mark of this first period. Jags to the 1-0 lead. Have dominated play to this point. Chipped out. Now here's Perry looking for a break. She's down the left side. Driving is Keith to the middle. Got Keith in the middle. Over to Keith. One-timer off the post. Good look by Perry there. Good chance by Keith. She had got a little deep, John, and ran out of room.
She really did, but really nice attempt at the pass. And, it's a game of inches. And that puck that hit the post was about an inch away from being the second goal of the game. Nice pad save by the Eastview goalie as the pressure continues. Shots 11-0 in favor of the Jaguars.
Feldman with that shot from the point. A good pad save by the diminutive Eastview goalie, as John mentioned. Now we're going to get a whistle. We haven't had many. First icing of the night, I think. And Johnny, I got to think Eastview's pretty happy to get that.
Absolutely, and admirably for Eastview, considering the pressure they've been under. The fact that that's their first icing is telling in terms of their ability to withstand the pressure without having to just jump it down to the other side. But here comes the Jaguars again on the draw, but the draw won by Eastview this time.
Towie with DeVos and Moore. Up front for the Jaguars, Lindman and Feldman on the back end. Now play behind the Lightning net. Chipped over to the far side. Nice outlet pass there by the Eastview defense. Here they come down the left side. Annabelle Lindman defending for the Jaguars. There's the first shot of the night for Eastview. Sticked away by Bjorklund. Chipped out by Towie. Back on it goes Eastview. Kind of, I got it, you take it. Eastview gets it now, but almost turns it over. More forechecking hard along with DeVos there for the Jags. Eastview coming out, intercepted there by Mendel. She's on defense with Feldman. Finds Towie up the near side. Jaguars changing behind the play. 8:22 to go. Jaguars up to the 1-0 lead. Held in there by Towie. Flip it for Perry over to first. Perry in first. Two-man game to the center. Intercepted by the Lightning. Player there. Jaguars throw it towards the net, but carrying out will be Eastview.
Nice stick work there by Elise Tyus. It ricocheted off of an Eastview forward's shin pads to get back deep into the Jaguar zone.
There's a steal wraparound attempt there by
nice job.
Eastview, but doesn't make it on net. Picked up by first. She'll skate out with a bit of speed. Chip it in. I don't know if we're going to get an icing call on Jags, Johnny.
So back in the Jaguar defensive zone here, Eastview does have their first shot on goal. So Annika Bjorklund's first test, which she handled with aplomb. So, she's now going to have a face-off to her left. And she has Lainey Schramm as her defense out there. And looks like taking the draw again is Elise Tyus, and won by Elise Tyus back to Lainey Schramm.
Schramm will pivot behind her net, go indirect up for Perry. Perry tries to get it across. Here's first to pick up. First down the near side. Centering pass, finds Tyus. Tyus sticked aside by the Eastview goalie. Picked up behind the net by first. Out to the point, Schramm Tram sends a shot wide, kind of looks up and like, I wanted to get that on net, but here's Perry now alone in the high slot. Shot right into the breadbasket, caught and held. 7:17 to go here. Jaguars holding on to this 1-0 lead.
Kurt, if you're on the Jaguar JV bench, you have to be really pleased, not just in terms of the 13-1 shot advantage and 1-0 lead with 7:17 remaining here in the first, but a striking number of those shot attempts or shots on goal were the results of passes. They're passing really, really well, trying to look for the open player.
Keith with the face-off win back to Mendo. Mendo's shot is tipped in front, but it goes just wide. Jaguars still buzzing here in the offensive zone. Taylor Keith finds herself surrounded by 3 Lightning players there, but gets a friend in DeVos to come help out. Chipped out to the point, held in by Mendo. Keith with a centering pass. That'll miss and go all the way back. We won't have an icing because that was Taylor Keith who sent it down. Eastview first to the puck there. Players go down, sticks fly in the air. DeVos picks it up.
Good non-call by the referee there. That just was contact. Looked dramatic, but it certainly wasn't a penalty.
2-on-1 for the Jaguars now. Moore down that left side. Shot, come in and score! Off the Eastview goalie's arm. Clipped that arm and found the top corner of the net, Johnny. 2-0 Jaguars.
Really, really nice shot. And I just talked about the great passing, and they had a 2-on-1. But sometimes you just got to pull the trigger in terms of the angle is getting cut off there, which was the case in that exchange. And so she responded with a really nice sharp shot to give the Jags this 2-0 lead, 6:29 remaining in the second.
Yeah, we should get an assist to one of the Jaguars defensemen. Don't recall who that was, but whoever the left D was at the time should get an assist on that Moore goal. Now Towie comes ahead. Going to give
DeVos the assist here.
Megan DeVos the assist on the Moore goal. Now Jaguars pressuring again here. Looks like it may be a long night for these Eastview skaters. Jaguars are just winning every single puck battle, John.
Absolutely. There's Zoe Marshall battling, speaking of that, and goes into the corner, but Janzig de la Luz is on it. She'll take it behind the net and actually kick it back to her Jaguar mate as they try to get back on offense, and indeed do.
Now, Johnny, you were mentioning that the Jaguars have an advantage, this being their third game, whereas Eastview, their opener tonight.
It is. Of course, for the varsity team as well. We'll have to see how that plays out, but sometimes you can have a situation where they're well rested, and other times you have a situation like this where it's now a 3-0 lead. Jaguar goal on that exchange.
Yeah, it looks like Allie Moore is going to get her second of the night from Ashley Towie at least, and maybe one more. Possibly Perry on the goal. I guess we'll have to see. I thought...
Looks like Perry went through the congratulations line first, but yeah, sometimes it's difficult to discern.
There was a scrum right in the crease. A lot of Jaguars hacking at that puck.
For Jefferson, number 13,
Indeed, Perry.
Assisted by number 27, Alicia Moore.
Allie Moore with the assist.
27.
Perry with that goal. The official call, Moore with the lone assist. Towie definitely should have a secondary on that one. So Jaguars just dominating. 16 shots in one period with still 5 minutes remaining is a big number, John. And again, here come the Jaguars. DeVos right to the middle. Forehand. Shot it wide.
Nice sharp shot, but just missed the net there. And the goalie played it relatively well. That could have had a little bit of part in it. Jaguars intercept, try to bring it back in the offensive zone.
Feldman waiting for her forwards to clear. Does dump it in, but intercepted there by Eastview. Now Jaguars with the entire forward line up front changed. Eastview will throw it behind the net. Far corner. Tried to get a centering pass. Perry will take that puck away. Puck at the red line. Jaguars will tip it into the zone. Annabelle Lindman on this side. She's going to pick up and carry down the boards. Centering pass, looking for first in the crease. Deflected now. Taylor Keith on the backhand over to Perry, but taken away by Eastview. Break chance here for the Eastview Lightning. In alone. Down the left side. Shot coming in. Whistles it high over the net. By far Eastview's best scoring chance of the night, John.
Indeed, and it appeared that Annika Bjorklund may have gotten a little bit of a piece on that, but it did just kind of sail over the net at that point. She was very well positioned, keeping the
Looks like
Lightning off.
They did give her a shot,
yeah,
so good call. I missed that there.
Yeah, I think she just got a slight glove on it and played it well. And here come the Jags back trying to get back on the board.
Perry, pass picked off by Eastview. They come ahead. Yeah, that was a nice chance there by Eastview. They threaded our two defenders through the neutral zone, sent their player in alone, and didn't mean to shortchange Bjorklund there. Never want to do that, but make when you, and especially when you only see 2 shots in 13 minutes, facing a breakaway, not easy, John.
Not at all. She played it well. Big sharp shot in front of the net there, but a nice save, one of many by the Eastview goalie here. She's had to make 14 saves so far. 3 have gone by her. 3-0 lead for the Jags.
Battling there is Lindman. She'll bring that puck in, send a shot in off the glove of the goaltender, out in front for more, off her stick. Puck will be held in there by Towie at the line.
Nice job by Towie, keeping that puck in the offensive zone once again, doing the same, and now headed down to take a shot on her own right.
Towie throws one in high on the goalie. Juicy rebound left, but she pounces on it. Get a whistle with 2:45 to go here. Jaguars up 3-0.
You know, Kurt, our broadcast brother friend, Ryan Kuhn, often talks about, you know, if in any of these games, if you can have a shot a minute rate, it's really remarkable. And so far, with 13 some minutes to go, the Jaguars actually have 19 shots so far this period, 19-2 margin. So really a dominant period so far for the Jaguars.
Well, they're going to collect a couple more there off that scrum, off the face-off. Jaguars, the puck is in the back of the net, but I do not believe, I think the whistle had gone. I see the ref indicating a face-off to the right, but Jaguars just relentless here, John.
Indeed, and we'll try to continue it as Eastview gets a well-deserved line change, and of course they're going to start getting a little bit tired, and then have the long change, as both teams will when we hit the second period.
Puck in the near corner here, picked up by Eastview. Unable to clear that out. Now the defenseman knocks it out. Carried back in by DeVos now. She'll hit the line with speed. Go wide. Cleared out, but here's Towie sending a puck off some traffic in front. 2 minutes to go here in a first period dominated by the Jaguars. Picked up by Schramm. She'll try to work into the middle.
Nice backhand pass into the right in front of the net.
Now here's Eastview again. What worked for them the last time? Got Tyus back checking there. Eastview player trying to get a shot, but they had snuck in a player behind our 2 defensemen, similar to how they'd done it a couple minutes ago. And good thing at least Tyus was back checking there, Johnny.
Very well defended by her, and some good back checking there. But again, kind of a nicer opportunity for Eastview, one of the few that they've had so far.
Eastview player, we're going to get a penalty called here on the Jaguars.
I think this will be our first call of the game on either team here. And just from the looks of it, it could be Elise Tyus headed for the box. We'll have to see what they call. It indeed does look like it's her.
Yeah, hooking call. She was trying to lift the stick, but stick got in on the hands a little bit, and that will send the Jaguars to their first penalty kill. Well, Eastview certainly can use the man advantage here. We'll see if they're able to test the Jaguars here.
And
number 25, Elise Tyus.
Jaguars will be shorthanded the remainder of the period and a little bit into the second period here, Kurt, unless, of course, Eastview happen to score. But, Jaguars are going to do everything they can to keep that from happening. And so far, well defending, just kicked out there by Lainey Schramm.
Picked up by Eastview. They'll send it in below the goal line. Schramm back quickly on it. Able to get the clear the length of the ice. Eastview,
very well played by Lainey Schramm.
Like to see the goalie going way out. She could tell that Perry was going to get to that puck first. She knew she had to get to that puck and cleared it around. Now the Jaguars throw a puck in. The referee is forcing the goalie to move it, as he should when they're on a man advantage. Back below the goal line now is Eastview. The final 30 seconds of period. Forechecking hard there is Layla Perry. Eastview able to now have a little bit of time and space to carry this puck out. 20 seconds to go here, looking for a shot. They come in over the line, drop pass. Shot blocked by Schramm nicely and cleared away by Perry.
9 seconds remaining here. Jaguars so far very successful penalty kill. Haven't even allowed a shot. And speaking of shots, as we head towards the end of the first period here, shots are 22 for the Jaguars, 2 for Eastview. So
22 to
complete
2.
domination.
Well, lucky for everyone, our A play-by-play man has arrived, so we're going to pass it over to Ryan Kuhn here for the second period.
And speaking of the second period, each rink kind of does it differently. It looks like they're not going to clear in between periods here, Kurt and Ryan, and instead, actually they are going to clear. It looks like teams headed to their locker rooms at this point. Whether they clear in between the second and third period remains to be seen. But when we do rejoin in the second period here, the voice of the Jaguar JV team, the play-by-play man, Ryan Kuhn, will be joining me. Great to work with you, Kurt, and great to have all of you join us today. We're going to take a quick break here while they resurface the ice, rejoin you. Again, the lead is Jaguars 3, Eastview Lightning nothing, headed into the second period. You're listening and watching Jaguar Hockey.
And assist by Alicia Luke.
We are back for the start of period 2. Recapping action to this point, Jefferson dominating play from what I can see, showing up extremely late. Shot advantage 22-2 after one and leading 3-zip on the scoreboard. John, you want to recap goal scorers for period 1 there?
Indeed, and we had not just 3 really good goals, a lot of assists and many really good passes, which was something Kurt and I were noting in the first. But our goal scorers were Layla Perry, as well as Ella First and Allie Moore. So first one of the an assist, 2 by Megan DeVos, assist by Ashley Towie, as well as Allie Moore got an assist, and Lainey Schramm. So a couple of assists on one of the goals. Really good passing throughout.
That is an impressive memory, Mr. Rash, that you recalled that just from like recapping the entire first period. So Jefferson starting out 1 player down for about 30 seconds.
And you don't see this often in a high school game, but with the resurfacing, they kind of reverted to the sides they were on before, and it seemed like both sides were a little confused. They've slipped now. You have the long change in this period. And remember, Jaguars start still on the penalty kill for 30 seconds.
It appears we got Moore and DeVos up front for this initial penalty kill. A little bit of confusion there on Moore's part on tagging up, but
Marshall and Feldman with defense and both giving chase as this puck goes down into icing. So we're going to have a face-off in the offensive zone for the Eastview Lightning.
I did note listening to the broadcast as we were driving here, you mentioned that Jefferson with the rare size advantage, not a statement we've heard often in Jefferson history, but now that I'm here, John, I see what you mean. Well, we do have some smaller Eastview players,
which would suggest that they're perhaps a little bit younger, and it's terrific that they get this opportunity in a JV game here. So Jaguars able to successfully kill off the penalty, but here comes Eastview in the offensive zone.
Eastview with a really good shot there. I see we got Bjorklund in net. Good save there. That's the 3rd shot of the game.
And Annika has faced 4 so far and 3 so far officially. It looked like there might have been 2 there, and fielded them all well. There was one really sharp shot towards the end of the second.
Another good save there. Close, sharp angle, but a hard shot. Tipped out by Moores. Going to get 2 new forwards out. The penalty killers are off. That's back to the blue line. Feldman trying to clear the zone, but it's dumped in deep. Marshall retrieves. She tries to get it up the near side wall. Eastview cycling. Turns it over. Carried out of the zone now by Towie. She's knocked down. That's Woodford carrying it in, getting some JV playing time down from varsity. Tried to pass it back to the blue line. That cleared the zone. Feldman carries it. Goes cross ice. Passes it to Towie. Towie enters the zone. Has Woodford charging the net. Good pass by Towie. Woodford tried to get a redirect, but it was on net. Stick to the corner. Woodford possesses it. Tied up behind the net. Maintains possession. Looks like we have Lindman playing forward this period, I think, John. She's typically on the blue line, but we've discussed before how defensemen having to rotate up. Shot from the point. That's Schramm. Another good save. Tyus centering pass. Woodford tried to redirect on net. Went wide. Centering pass. Knocked back to the corner. Schramm tried to hold it in. Cleared out to center ice. Good move there by Mendel. She's going to carry it in. Get a sharp shot right in the breadbasket. Saved, held on. We'll get an offensive zone draw.
There have been a couple of sharp breadbasket shots, as you just referenced there, and the Eastview goalie has swallowed them up quite well. And, you know, it's notable that she has made 21 saves out of 24 shots. She's kept the team in there quite well.
I don't think they're keeping up with the shot tally. I'm pretty sure we had like 3-4 shots just on that shift. And I think they only added 1.
And I think I had referenced that I thought that Annika Bjorklund had faced 2 down there. They only put 1 on the board at that time. So indeed, they might be a little bit slow on the draw here.
As we know, John, it's tough to keep tally when you get into the game. Sometimes you You go fan on it. Here's a close range shot off the face mask. A sharp shot there by Schramm. Goalie took it right to the chin. Good pass by Moore over to Tyus. Set up initially by Perry. Yep, really another rip. Nice. That goes high on the net.
At least Tyus with 2 attempts here in this
Jefferson buzzing.
Strong shift.
Drop pass to Perry. Perry looks. Back to Tyus at the blue line. Her shot goes wide. Tyus covering, I think, for Schramm, who had entered the offensive zone. Held in by Mendel. Into the corner. Held in by Schramm. 3 Bloomington players there. The second period, as we know, Eastview's got a long change that this 5 has been out there defending for must be a minute and a half now. Centering pass knocked back, but held in again. That shot hits traffic. Scrum in front. Eastview just desperately trying to clear the zone.
Or the goalie's trying to cover it, but neither has been able to happen for the Eastview Lightning.
Eastview, taps it to the blue line, but still held in. Puck bouncing around. Jefferson getting change on the fly while still maintaining offensive zone possession. Eastview Dragon. Batted ahead to the near side wall. Eastview succeeds in at least getting it out to the red line. But Schramm's going to turn it right back. Eastview able to get one skater off, but in desperate need of a whistle here.
Yeah, they haven't even been able to ice it at this point.
No.
You know, which is often the last
dumped
refuge.
In deep. Yeah. DeVos going to give chase. Comes back to the blue line. Feldman's going to hold that in. Shot on net, and it went through. I don't know that there was a touch in front, so either that's Feldman's goal from the blue line, or we'll see who goes through first if there was a tip. Appears DeVos reluctantly going through. She might not be sure either. Either way, Jefferson gets on the board.
There are 2 types of pucks that are really challenging for a goalie, even one playing as well as the Eastview one has. One is when they flutter, and one is when they kind of bounce. And this one seemed to bounce at the very end here. So we'll have to see how that's reflected by the official scorer here. But it does give the Jaguars a 4-0 lead.
Number 12, Megan DeVos.
They did credit DeVos on the tip.
Assist goes to number 29, for giving the fight.
Feldman with the assist.
46.
Feldman shot that in from the blue line. DeVos must have got a touch in front of the net. There was traffic. Ooh, centering pass by Eastview. Cleared out smartly there by Keith. But Eastview dumps it back behind the net. Keith tries to get it up the sidewall to Moore. Moore bats it off the wall. She's going to win that puck race. Good speed. She's going to get a sharp angle shot on. Goalie got a piece of it, deflected it up into the netting.
Boy, that shows you what speed can do right there. As she just blew by the defenseman right there. Did get a nice shot. Credit to the goalie who got a piece of it, deflected it out. But she will now face off to her left, which will be taken by Ashley Towie. And she is going to be flanked by Annabelle Lindman, as well as it looks like Allie Moore to her right.
Oh, that puck's loose. Eastview with a chance here. Puck race. Nice work by Feldman there to fight off the hard-charging Eastview forward.
Eastview forward trying to prove what I just said about speed right there, but we were able to beat. And here's Etta Woodford on the puck with a nice spin-around pass.
Ahead.
Yeah.
Towie tries to get it in front, but she gets pushed behind the net. Still possessing it. Now Woodford picks it up. She's got a little bit of space, looking for a pass. Gets it back to the blue line, tipped clear. Held in, though, by Janzig de la Luz. It's in the corner. That's Lindman fighting for it. She tries to center. Towie's got it, dumps it back in the corner for Lindman again. Lindman dispossessed the puck. Towie steals it, though, skates right in front, throws it on net.
Nice
puck was loose temporarily. Good cover by the goal. I'm pretty sure the official scorekeeper, John, has given up on trying to keep tally of the shots.
It would seem so. And, you know,
I think they ended the first period showing 25. We've had to have 10, 12 shots already. Indeed. They've added 2.
Especially given the offensive zone time that the Jaguars have enjoyed this period, which has 8:38 remaining here. The one
Well, in
number
some
they
of those
do have right.
off-season hockey
Yeah.
programs, John, they stop counting goals after like 6 or something. Maybe that's what we're seeing here.
Well, they're certainly still counting those, and that is in the Jaguars' favor at 4-0, and the shots clearly dominant in terms of the Jaguars' favor, including they still have it in offensive zone, but Eastview finally
Here
able
comes
to clear
Eastview
it.
with a good move. Dumps it deep, goes for a change. Eastview back
Credit to
behind the
Elise
net.
Tyus, who came back on D and chasing that puck behind, and but now you have Zoe Marshall trying to get the clear.
Marshall up the sidewall to Perry. Perry trying to get it across the blue line, held in by Eastview, at least temporarily. Graham's got it. She loses it though behind the net, recovers. She's going to have some room now to skate with it.
Nice
She's
pass.
got First on the far side. Now First going to enter the zone. It's got Perry with her. Drop pass to Tyus. Tyus dumps it back behind the net to First. She centers it for Perry, but knocked into the corner. Eastview trying to get it across the blue line. They succeed. Enters the zone with some speed.
Number 8 on Eastview is the player who took it down previously with some speed and some good stick handling. Just did there as well, getting a well-deserved break.
Puck
here.
gets by the
Here comes
Eastview
Perry.
player. Perry catches up to it before it gets across the goal line, but waiting for teammates to catch up. She gets knocked down from behind. Held in there Moore. She throws to Perry. Perry back to Moore in front. Good redirect. Good two-player give and go there between Moore and Perry. Moore's got it again. She's going to try to return the favor. Tried to center it, hit the side of the net. Moore picks it up again, goes back to the blue line. That's Mendo. Mendo with a hard shot. Good glove save covered. Moore in front waiting for the rebound.
You know, when we see this Eastview goalie here, Ryan, there's a very nice glove save, as you just mentioned. She's saved several in the breadbasket, as Kurt said, in the first, and she's been well-positioned this whole game and really, really played well. As you say, they're behind on shots, but even on the way they've been tracking, she has 25 saves so far, and she's been
We talk
impressive.
a lot, John, you being a goalie dad, about the challenge of if you're in games where you don't get a lot of action, trying to stay focused, right? And in this game, we got Yorkland still in net. Hasn't faced a whole lot of shots. Hard to sort of maintain your focus when it's a shot every 5 minutes. But the inverse, I mean, there's got to be times where you can have too much activity where you never even get a chance to sort of catch your breath, compose yourself. If it's in your end, here again, Moore with a shot, another save. I mean, the Eastview goalie's just constantly under a barrage.
Well, there's a physical exhaustion, which most players at this age can handle, but there's also a mental one in terms of, you know, just how challenging it is to not get that kind of mental break. You are right that it can work in the inverse, but so far Annika Bjorklund has been very much up to the task when she's had to respond and respond quickly.
Nice play there right off the draw. That was DeVos to Moore. DeVos picked it up off the draw, coming in from the wing, slid it across the Moore for an easy tap in. Nice passing there from the Jefferson JV squad.
Indeed, so the Jaguars take a 5-0 lead with 6:14 remaining here in the second. One thing we have not seen is a goalie change. The first 2 games, they
right,
changed
John.
midstream. Perhaps they're going to have Annika Bjorklund play the entire game, and then you know, the next one we'll just have to see. But maybe that goes to Megan Delarwell, and so we'll have to see what happens with that. But so far we haven't had that switch, and we're past the time where the midpoint of the second where they normally might do that.
Woodford with a tough angle shot there, hard shot, but again, right into the chest protector, covered up by the Eastview goaltender. Offensive zone draw. Puck comes back to the blue line. Held in by Feldman. Give and chases Lindman. Comes back to Feldman. Feldman shot on net. Bouncing puck. Again, another save. We'll do it again, same side.
So we're going to have a
Towie
face-off.
playing center.
Indeed, taken by her. She is flanked by Annabelle Lindman as well as Etta Woodford up from varsity. Etta, of course, had one of the 2 goals against Prior Lake in her very first varsity game. Really nice play by her. So getting a little bit of JV time here tonight. And
that's one back to Feldman. She attempted to go across Cross ice to Marshall, but Eastview intercepted that. Eastview trying to dump it in. Lindman has it. She's trying to skate through 5 Eastview defenders. She ends up passing it back to Towie. Towie back to Lindman in the corner. She's trying to get it behind the net. Clearing attempt, far side wall, going to be held in by Marshall. Marshall goes cross ice to Feldman, but Feldman loses it. Marshall retreats. Got it, goes bounce pass off the wall. Head to Woodford. Woodford up to Towie. Held in by Woodford. She might have a chance. She skates into the corner. Looking for a centering pass. Behind the net. Still looking. Controlling the puck. Being patient. Gets it back to Feldman. But Feldman loses it at the blue line. Eastview throws it down. Marshall retrieves. Eastview gets it behind the net. Give a chance to get a line change here. Again, tougher in the second period. Woodford's had a little bit of difficulty handling that. She's going to skate it into the corner. Behind the net. Again, looking for a pass. Try to get it back to the blue line. Knocked away an Eastview player's stick. Now she comes out front. Keeping it herself. Good pass to Lindman. Lindman with a one-timer, but again, the Eastview goalie very quick coming across, John. She's
Very
playing
nice.
really, really well.
Absolutely. Very nice pass by Etta Woodford as she went around the net looking for her open teammate. Was able to find Annabelle Lindman, but the goalie equal to the task. 4:19 remaining here in the second with a 5-0 Jaguar lead.
Tyus with her familiar deep hunched over stat approach. She gets it back to the blue line. Mendel shot on net, tipped, I think, by Tyus there. Went over the crossbar. Eastview's got it, trying to carry it out. Try to pass it to the wing. That's held in by Schramm.
Perry back to Schramm here. Schramm looking
Perry
for
back
a shot.
to Schramm. Schramm off a knee pad. And there's Tyus in front to tip in the rebound. So I think we're going to credit Schramm with the initial shot. I think that was Perry who bounced it off her skate maybe. But then Tyus with the tip in.
And we got used to last year, if you remember, Elise Tyus being in front of the net. She certainly has carried that over to this season. Very nice goal by her. It gives the Jaguars a 6-0 lead here. And we'll have to see what happens here. Don't want to get too ahead of us. 3:57 remaining in the second. But if it remains at this score, they may go run time in the third period.
Number 25, Elise Tyus.
That is Tyus.
Number 14, Eleni Schramm. And number 13, Lila Perry.
That is Tyus from Perry, from Schramm on the 6th goal here. Now First has it. First carries it in front. She's on her backhand. She's going to take it behind the net. Loses it to Eastview. Eastview looking for an outlet pass. Eastview goes behind the net. Tries to get up the far side wall. Tipped out to the blue line, but held in by Mendel. Mendel to Tyus. Eastview again trying to keep it on the outside. Tyus pestering the Eastview player, carrying it out of the zone. They get it to the red line. Tyus going to hold it in, or disrupt the play at least. Eastview going to throw it deep. Mendel's there. She tries to carry it out. Turnover. Schramm's there to clean it up. Now she's got it, trying to get it ahead. Hits traffic. She gets taken down. There's going to be is that our first penalty of the game, John?
Second penalty. We had one in the first
that's
period
right.
on the Jaguars.
That
carried over into the second. This would be the first on Eastview, and it was a clear trip and one that the referee could not ignore at that point. So the Jaguars are going to go on the penalty or on the power play. Eastview Lightning on the penalty kill. 2:45 remaining here in the third, and it's 6-0 Jaguar lead. Face-off will be to
Jefferson
the
dominating
goaltender's right.
play here, predominantly in the offensive end at 5-on-5. I imagine we're if the Eastview goaltender wasn't already under attack here, John, I'm guessing it's going to get worse here.
So Taylor Keith takes the face-off, and a little bit of a scrum there, but ends up back with it, but it kicks out and back, and we have Allie Moore trying to get it to her teammate.
Good job by Eastview, though, to break that up and throw it all the way down on net. Retrieving here, Schramm. She looks up ice. Tries to get it ahead. That pass is broken up, though. Eastview throws it back in. Mendel goes off the sidewall. DeVos has got it. She picks up speed coming through center ice. Tries to go around a Eastview player. The puck's loose in front. Oh, clearing attempt Whiffed on a little bit, held in by Mendel. Mendel gets a shot that's off the side of the net. Keith sent her out to the blue line. Schramm throws it in. That gets deflected wide. Moore over to DeVos. DeVos back to Mendel. Mendel's got plenty of room. She's going to skate it in. That shot gets deflected wide. Keith knocks it into the corner. Moore retrieves. She's looking. She goes to the center blue line, held in. That pass, though, almost intercepted. Held in. DeVos is going to get a shot. That goes wide. Jefferson with a lot of pressure, but struggling to get shots on net. Several deflected. Carried behind the net. Patiently looking for a pass. That's Schramm. Schramm throws it in front, and Keith backhands it over the goalie. There's our 7th goal of the game, a power play goal. Keith from Schramm.
You know, up to that point, Eastview Lightning had been relatively effective in the penalty kill. That was the first official shot deep a minute and a half into that 2-minute power play here. But once it hit the stick of Taylor Keith, she backhanded it deftly into the net to give the Jags the 7-0 lead. A minute 17 remaining here in the second.
Scoring on the power play for Bloomington Jefferson was number 31, Taylor Keith, assisted by number 14, Eleni Schramm, at 13:43.
Confirming that goal was Keith from Schramm. 1 minute left in the second period. Eastview just trying to escape here without further damage. Tied up behind the net. Jefferson keeping the pressure on. Tied up momentarily there. Woodford chipping away at it. She's got Feldman up front with her. Held in. Woodford, nifty move to try to create some space. Drops it back to the blue line. Janzig De La Luz hits it in front, and then the rebound knocked in by Towie, I think.
Indeed. Yes.
So that minimally should be Towie with the 8th goal of the game. Assist to De La Luz and potentially
at Woodford. Indeed. And they keep that same line out there, so that might be the first point for Janzig De La Luz for the season. So congratulations to her. And let's hear who.
By number 4, Adeline De La Luz at 14.
Confirming Towie from De La Luz. I'd have given Woodford an assist on the drop pass there, back to De La Luz, Janzig De La Luz. Another centering pass there, a good glove save by the goaltender. Towie almost had her 2nd goal in 10 seconds there.
That would have been an assist for Etta Woodford, that's for sure. That was a very nice pass to set it up, but the Eastview goalie equal to that task. So great save by her. 22 seconds remaining here in this second period.
Eastview at 20 seconds, breaks out of the zone. I'm almost to a point, John, where I'm pulling for Eastview to just get something going here for a little spark. But Woodford gets it to the blue line, held in. 5 seconds left, a quick turnover. Eastview trying to get it in front, sending past, nobody there, and that'll end the second period. It appears we're going to resurface again, John. This must be the new trend. We thought it was 1 resurface per JV game, but we're now 2 for 2 on the road where we resurface after each period.
You're quite right, and you and I did almost all the JV games last year. I think we maybe only saw that once, but we have seen it 2 out of 3 games here. Didn't do it at the Bloomington Ice Garden, but twice here, down here with the Eastview Lightning's home rink. So you and I are going to take a break, and Ryan, when we come back, it appears that we most likely will be in running time here.
I would assume so. Period. All right, we'll return after the intermission here for the start of the third.
Turn on.
All right, we are back for the start of the third period in what has been a dominating Jaguar performance. And John, this is coming off of a 6-0 win on Saturday for the JV squad.
And indeed, I think the Jags have only allowed one JV goal so far this year. So
the 1-1 tie to start the year against Prior Lake. Since then, it's been all offense.
So both goalies have played well. We still have Annika Bjorklund in the net. She's going to play the full game today, it appears, after the two goalies split in the first two games.
Here comes first, trying to get a shot on net. Puck knocked away. Good D there by Eastview. Centering pass, redirected out to the blue line. Schramm trying to hold it in. Eastview gets it clear. First on the back check. She's back there with Mendel. Mendel tried to get up to first on the near side wall. Eastview, though, intercepts it. Cycling behind into the corner. Looking for a pass. Tries to get it in front. Goes down. That's Schramm. Again, intercepted, but picked up by first. She passes it ahead to Perry. Perry across the blue line. Trying to get it deep. Tipped back. Bounces over to Jefferson sticks. Keith retrieves. She just dumps it in. Jefferson going to get a change. Keith, the lone forechecker out there. She goes and disrupts the offensive charge. Back to Janzig De La Luz. But intercepted, thrown back down. Retrieved, looking for an outlet pass up the wall. Tyus, though, can't get to it. Scrum in the corner. Picked up behind the net by Lindman. Lindman up ahead to Moore. Moore gets a tip. She's got a shot here. Good speed, though, by Eastview to break that up. We know how fast Moore is. Eastview does a good job. Good pass in front, though. That looks like Moore to Keith. Keith with a one-timer on net, but another save.
Well, we've seen that all night, though. Really unselfish passing by the Jaguars there. Very nice opportunity, but a great save, which we've seen all night by the Eastview Lightning goalie, who's been under duress since nearly the moment the puck dropped. And speaking of moments here, they are ticking by because, Ryan, we are in running time here in the third period because we have a more than 6-goal differential with this 8-0 score here. So unless that narrows, we'll have the clock continuing to tick. 12:33 remaining in the third.
Eastview broke up. Janzig De La Luz clearing attempt. Now they go D to D on the blue line. But Moore with a quick stick. Intercepts that. Another puck race. Another good job by Eastview covering Moore on the back check. Comes out to center ice. There's Moore again. She's got to be tired at this point. That's her third rush up the ice, and there she goes for a change. Lindman now carries it, makes a good move. She's going to cross the blue line. She's got Woodford with her. Shot on net, glove save.
Jaguars looking to put the pressure back on here. As he said, just made a change, but they're going to change him up a little bit again, at least. Lindman coming off, and we have Lainey Schramm coming on. She's partnered with Zoe Marshall there on the blue line.
Draw one back, but intercepted. Tried to go back to the D. Good recovery there by Schramm just to break up what could have been an odd man rush up ice. Marshall battling for it in the corner, gets it to Woodford. Her pass attempt broken up. Turnover in front. That shot hits a skate. In front save. Cleared out. Woodford's got it now. Jefferson with a chance to get an odd man rush. That pass attempt missed. That's going to go for icing. Eastview seems to have a little more juice to start the third period here, John.
The resurfacing, clearly, of course, helps both teams. But because the Eastview Lightning had to be moving like lightning to try to cover these rushes by the Jaguars, that rest probably helped them. We have fresh ice. The puck's moving a little bit faster, and they're looking to at least to try to get on the board. Shots are very lopsided to the degree that they're kept accurately. It's 43-6 so far, Jaguars compared to the Lightning.
Towie won that draw back. Came to Feldman on left wing. She gets it ahead. Towie's going to carry it in. Good cross ice pass to Woodford. Woodford wrangles it. Gets a shot. Saved. The rebound cleared by Eastview.
Nice sharp shot by Etta Woodford, but nice save by the goalie.
Now Woodford centering pass. Tried to foul Towie. It comes back to the point. That shot on net and covered. That was Schramm with a good shot. No, I'll tell you, considering how many shots this Eastview goalies faced, I know we've got 8 goals on the board, but we've said they're not tallying shots, John. They've got to be up to 60. She's playing phenomenally.
Terrific, and made a really nice save there. And, you know, after that initial save, had the presence of mind to cover it because the Jags were ready to pounce at that point. So,
and these are not weak shots
no,
either, John.
Not at all.
These are close range. These are one-timers fed from behind the net. These are odd man rushes.
Well, and as you just mentioned, often behind the net, and you know the result of a nice crisp pass that can leave a goaltender, you know, out of position, and she's been able to position herself quite effectively as well. So, credit to her. She's been the star of their team so far. Plenty of stars here on the Jaguar team with an 8-0 lead.
DeVos curls out from behind the net. Tries to get it across the Perry backhand. Rebound saved. 2 saves and covered. Nice job by Bloomington there, fighting for it behind the net. DeVos came away with it. Curled in front, kind of slid it across. Not sure if she was trying to get a shot, but Perry on the far post. Again, goalie slid across, smothered that before Perry could tap it in.
A Perry to first fist bump at the end of that, recognizing their teamwork, even though the puck didn't go in. That's what you want to do, and more often than not, you're going to get an opportunity here.
DeVos with the draw, but Eastview comes away with it. Gets it across the blue line. Bodies collide. Carried in there by Schramm. Schramm going to get a centering pass. Tried to find first, but tipped away by the Eastview D. Good defensive play there. That's going to be held in by Mendel. Again, near side wall. Mendel centers it. Another centering pass, but Perry's tied up by the Eastview. The Eastview's playing better this third period, John. I got to give them credit. They're rallying. Turnover by Bloomington. Eastview trying to get it across the blue line. They get it ahead. Can't quite handle the pass. Mendel retreats.
Sometimes these turn into games within games. And for Eastview, it might be, let's keep the Jaguars off the board in the third period. And so far, they've been successful. So 7 minutes in, nearly half the period gone.
And an icing, Eastview will get an offensive zone draw. You're right, John. In between periods, one of the benefits of having the dual resurfacing, it gives the coaches a chance to regroup, try to rally the troops, give them something to play for. Moral victory, whatever you want to call it. But they look better here.
Notably, this is their first game of the year, and for many of these players, highly likely their first game in a high school jersey. And you know that's
could be finally working through the nerves, right, to start game one. That's a really good point, John. Good draw win from Eastview. Goes D to D, dumps it in. Janzig De La Luz gets it up to Tyus. Tyus centering pass. Finds more. She's going to wheel. She's got Keith with her. Pass attempt. Just misses Keith, but Keith's going to race into the corner. Oh, they called the icing. I thought she'd cross the red line, but we're all right with that. Bring it back down. Do it again.
And if you're Eastview, that's a relief because we're in running time here, and it just ticks, you know, a little bit of time left. 7 minutes remaining here in the third period here, so more than halfway through this 15-minute period. Again, lead is 8-0 of the Jaguars. And the face-off taken and won by Eastview. Yeah.
The Eastview copyright infringement on Tampa Bay Lightning jersey design here, John.
One wonders how much of that, you know, there is across all the youth teams, but especially the shoulder patch looks really strikingly similar.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like
it. So
Eastview cuts through off the draw, tries to get a flurry, but it's battled up the sidewall. Cleared to the middle. Janzig De La Luz has it. She tries to get it up to Tyus. Tyus battling for it. Keith's going to come over to help. Comes across, more immediate pressure. Gets it out to the red line. Good pass there from Eastview, but it gets tipped to Janzig De La Luz. Turnover, shot, good save. That was a really hard shot off the left shoulder. One of the better saves of the game from Bjorklund.
And again, Bjorklund hadn't faced a shot for quite some time. So sometimes, you know, not getting any action. Of course, the Eastview goal is getting too much action, but that can be challenging, and she was up for the challenge.
We're already down to under 6 minutes. Tyus dumped it in. Jefferson with 5 fresh skaters out, trying to hold it in. Woodford gets it loose. That's Schramm. Tries to make a move to get around. Woodford ends up with it. She's looking for a pass. Wheels into the corner, runs into Schramm. Little miscommunication on Bloomington's part there. Here comes Eastview. Has some numbers, tries to pass it ahead. Number 5 picks it up, tries to get a shot, whiffed on it. The puck was on edge for her. Here comes Towie with speed. One player to beat. Goes wide to the backhand side, tries to cut in front. Tried to slide that through the 5-hole. Another good save. Going to be held in by Marshall. She's got lots of room. Shot, glove save, rebound. Woodford's got it.
Nice lift on that shot by Zoe Marshall there. Gave her goalie a little bit to handle there, and it hit her glove and bounced out of there.
That was to Feldman. Back to Schramm. That puck redirected into the corner. In front for Towie. Again, pushed behind the net. Loose in front. Towie taps it in. I'm not sure how that got on Towie's stick. That might be, is that her maybe third goal of the game?
Could be.
I honestly, John, have lost track. There's been so many goals scored. Who's got them? That might be Towie's third.
So that's 9 for the Jaguars to 0 for the Lightning here, and 4 minutes remaining about when they drop the puck here at center ice on a face-off taken by Megan DeVos. She is flanked by Ella First, as well as looks like Megan DeVos. Who else is out there?
Feldman with the assist on that.
Yep.
Hard for us to see, a bit of a scrum in front. So Towie from Feldman. We're under 4 minutes. Wow, another hard shot. That hits traffic. Rebound. And that's tapped in by First to get us to double digits, John. So I think that shot from the point was from Mendel. I think somebody got a stick on it before First knocked it in. Again, we're going to have to wait for the official score, but that should be First for sure got the goal. Should be 2 assists. Mendel with the secondary. We got to wait and see who got the primary.
Ashley Towie. Assists go to number 12, Megan DeVos, and number 9, Caitlin Mendel.
So that was misstated there. That was First, not Towie, but that was from Mendel, and DeVos got the primary assist on that goal.
So all sorts of Jaguars on the score sheet here, and really remarkable if we look at who's gotten goals here.
Maybe just points, John, if you want to run down the list of how many points each player. I mean, is everybody...
It's like Megan DeVos has 4 points, Layla Perry 3 points, Ashley Towie 3 points, 2, including 2 goals for Ella First, Elise Tyus with the goal, 3 points, including 2 goals for Allie Moore, and then his players who predominantly play defense, although they've mixed it up here a little bit, an assist for Adeline Janzik de la Luz, an assist for Kylie Mendel, 3 assists for Lainey Schramm, 2 assists for Corey Feldman, a goal by Taylor Keith, and a Woodford with an assist as well. So
we only have 2 players on the roster, John, who have not registered a point yet.
And they certainly have played prominent parts in
And here comes
games.
Lindman. Let's see if she can get on. The shot attempt blocked.
Absolutely.
She's one of the 2.
Yes. And Zoe Marshall and Lindman have both played really, really well. So they've been big contributors to this game as well. It's been a total team effort here. Minute 50 remaining here in the game. And I think we can safely say that. We usually just say the third period, but considering the 10-0 advantage, that's going to be it in now minute 40.
The offseason OS coaching staff would be trying to get the 2 players who haven't scored on the board here, wouldn't they?
Absolutely.
Bloomington wrestling for that draw. Here comes Eastview. That goes off a skate. Ooh, Woodford gets taken down. Clean play there. Just that little push from behind, lost an edge. Into the corner. That's Towie again. She tries to center it. Redirected. That she was looking for Feldman. Got poked away. Eastview the other way. Rubbed off by Woodford. Janzik de la Luz gets ahead to Towie. We're down to the final minute. Towie's going to try to split the D. Nope. Sprints to the outside. Good D by Eastview there. Drop pass. Back to Marshall. Marshall throws it behind the net. Woodford's going to pick it up. Centering pass for Towie. Just hops over his stick. Marshall and Janzik de la Luz go back. D to D pass. Marshall tries to come up the sidewall. Turnover. Eastview. Eastview chases it behind the net, but Janzik de la Luz has it. Passes it up the wall to Feldman. Feldman tries to get it out. Gets it ahead to Woodford. Woodford ahead to Towie. Just misses on that. 20 seconds left. Eastview slingshots around the net. Good forecheck by Woodford. Oh, turnover. Bloomington carries in. Oh, that shot just wide. That was DeVos coming in all alone. Woodford forced a turnover. Back to the blue line. Jansen Delaluz tries to get that on net, and that's going to do it for us, John. The final score for Jefferson's third JV game of the season, 10-zip. And the shots show 55-7, John. That undersells it significantly, I think.
Indeed, and just a terrific effort by the entire team, everyone who touched the puck out there, and by the coaching staff, and notably, the Jefferson JV team starts the season 2-0-1, and their one tie was a 1-1 tie. So great effort there on the game.
Glenn, we didn't want to jinx it, John, but that second straight shutout, I mean, credit to the goaltender, but honestly, credit to the team D. Gave up 7 shots. Maybe that's underrepresented a bit, but I'd be surprised if they had more than 10-12. And that's if you're probably being lenient on pucks that floated on net. So that's 2 straight games where dominating team defensive shutouts.
And as mentioned, their one tie was a 1-1 tie as well. So,
one goal in the season, John. That's insane.
So far, they look really, really good, and very promising play by these Jefferson Jaguar JV players, and promising, of course, eventually for future varsity Jaguar players, as some of them gather at center ice. Always a really nice tradition here, because both teams coming together and with the players eventually will make their way for the varsity team to come out and to practice and to warm up before the varsity game here. But and that game we won't be able to cover, but if you go to our Facebook page, there will be a link to where you can watch that game. This happens to be one of the rinks where a professional organization broadcasts the games, but they will be available for people to watch.
And so our next broadcast will be Friday from Brainerd, I believe. Correct, John?
Brainerd Little Falls on Friday. We'll have a 5 o'clock JV tilt, then a 7 o'clock varsity tilt. We'll be able to do both of those games. And then we turn around the next day on the road trip and go play St. Cloud Tech with a noon and 2 p.m. JV and varsity respective game. We'll be bringing you those as well. Always a highlight for all the girls when they report in at the end of the year, these road trips that we're able to take. In previous seasons, they've been able to go up to the Duluth area, play Proctor Hermantown, as well as Cloquet, Esco, Carleton. A little bit of a different mix here, and we'll see some new teams. It should be a lot of fun.
All right. Well, for Kurt Krenz, Jason Knutz, and Johnny Rash and myself, we will log off, and you'll hear from us again come Friday.